Thank you for staying with us. So there's been a lot of talk about the FASTLANE program in Maryland not having applied for it for a number of reasons. And this all regards in, or goes into regard with the widening of Interstate 81. Ken, what do you think about that?
Well, so one of the main reasons that, my understanding that we didn't actually apply for the grant is because we didn't qualify for it. In order to qualify for it, my understanding, we need to have engineering drawings already available and considered feasible and be within 18 months of being able to actually put the shovels in the ground and start digging. We're nowhere near that on that section of 81 yet, so not going to happen.
So the one part that really bothers me about this, and having driven 81 for a very long period of time, I don't necessarily think that widening 81 is the right answer, but certainly the exit ramps are not properly, or the exit and ingress ramps are not properly designed. So you're creating a bottleneck. Now, I know here in the last few weeks, coming off of 70 West and going on to 81 North, it has become a death trap because you have 3 lanes of traffic merging into 2,
well, that's
or actually 4 lanes of traffic. But you have a median wall, and literally almost every morning when I drive by, I see an accident right there at the merge.
Right.
Yeah. Fortunately, I only actually have to drive 1 mile of 81 every day for my commute. But then when I get down to the West Virginia part of I-81, it's absolutely great because it is 3 lanes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, I think they actually do have a similar issue with their on-ramps and off-ramps. But that 3rd lane gives people enough room that most drivers are pretty courteous and actually get over if you're trying to merge on.
Well, let's be clear. Phase 1 of the project expands 81 from the bridge to Maryland 68, which is exit 1, I guess, in Maryland.
Yep.
So that has been funded, contracts have been awarded, construction will start on that at some point in the near future. This is really funding to expand from that Maryland 68 or exit 1 to the Pennsylvania state line. And by the way, at the Pennsylvania state line, what happens to Interstate 81 again? Even if we get 3 lanes,
It goes
it's back to 2
lanes. However, Interstate 81, and I think from a federal standpoint, is one of the major trucking arteries in this country because it bypasses all the major metropolitan areas. So when it comes to transport, it is a great route for trucks to use. And that's why if you get on 81, most of the time they're going to be, the ratio of tractor trailers to passenger cars is 50% or more for tractor trailers. So, from a federal standpoint, I think it behooves us, because we're not investing in rail, we're not investing in other transportation methods, it behooves us to look at these routes that we do not have cargo sitting in traffic on 495 going around DC, or 695 going around Baltimore, or going around Philly or New York City or anything else.
Right.
I think at some point the federal government itself, regardless of the states applying for these grants, needs to take kind of a view of what that looks like.
So, Ron, you're a former county commissioner. What is the federal government play here, or is there one?
If I can recall, some of my colleagues here around the table feel that all these things should come back to the state. Now you want to go back to the federal government.
I'm just asking the question.
I just point that out.
Now, I never said that.
Towards
I
me,
know you
probably.
haven't, but there's some here that have.
Did you notice how he looked at me?
He looked at me, too.
I think it's totally the state of Maryland's fault. I think it's a legislature plus whatever governor's there. Not Joe Crobeth, but Rob Slocum's already pointed out the price tag that's on it is not an accurate price tag.
So
it's
it's
far
$300
more
million?
reasonable, yes. It's far more reasonable to do it. Maybe, and I can't see why Washington County has to be the lead political group to pull this together. How many counties does Route 95 go through? If they widen Route 95, every county doesn't have to go into lobby to get it done.
And how much traffic does 81 remove from 95 by being a viable route?
Amen.
Right.
So why is it the way it is? Because we didn't have Robert Byrd for us. Robert Byrd got the money for them to do 81 in Martinsburg. You've got, what do you have? Exit 10, exit 9, exit 6, exit 7, exit 5, and exit 1, plus the other Williamsport exit. Look at all of the exits in a very
Condensed
area.
Right.
It's only a 10-mile
where
stretch of road.
Yeah, that's where the problem is all those X's. And somebody just said a little bit ago, it's the ingress and egress
Yes.
out of the clover leaves or the diamond interchanges that creates the problem on merging.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those places when you come out, the abutment or the embankment of the bridge forces you over into
You have no merge area.
no
at
merge
all.
area.
Yep.
So Hogan stood on 270 a while back and said, this has got to change, we've got to fix this. I personally hope he has the same thought process.
We
about
had that when he
Interstate
ran for
81.
office. I think Hogan's doing a good job. I'm not going to criticize Governor Hogan.
And honestly, this is
Yeah,
not a criticism on
no.
Hogan at all, but I mean, how many more lanes can you add to 270 before you start looking at alternate ways of getting into downtown DC, right? Because you can have a 10-lane 270, and it's still going to be crowded as long as we don't address rail, as long as we don't address busing, as long as we don't address the expansion of Metro.
So, you know, on the political side, Congressman Delaney and Congressman Van Hollen were quick to point out that we missed the mark because we failed to apply for this funding or whatever.
What's the Maryland
Is that
Highway
accurate?
Administration's issue? I mean, that's a highway department or the State Highway Administration. That's their job.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that have been done over the years? Why wouldn't that be in plan? Why wouldn't it be shovel ready?
Endemic bureaucracy?
One never knows.
Yeah.
I think we're out of time, Colin.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. So next on the flip side, we're going to be talking about the elections and any updates that relate to the elections. Stay tuned.